All these years later, I'm still awed by Mexico's vastness and diversity, its showcase of unique landscapes, flavors, music, and art. And yet, despite these differences, I see the tendrils that bind Mexico together everywhere: social customs and cultural gems, safety issues, and travel trends. Here are a few tips to make navigating Mexico a little easier. Book early and budget extra for the high season. Mexico is a popular destination year-round, but Christmas, New Year's, spring break, and July see an uptick in travelers, both foreign and domestic. Expect higher prices for accommodation, excursions, car rentals, and even airfare, sometimes double the norm. Hotels also fill up fast. Book early, especially on the coasts where Mexicans tend to vacation. Pack for the climate. Mexico is a vast, multi-climate country with destinations ranging from frosty mornings at 8,700 feet to balmy nights at sea level. Research your destination's weather so you know what to expect and how to pack. You may need a bikini, umbrella, winter jacket, or all three. Remember that Mexico sits squarely in the hurricane belt, with its coasts susceptible to big storms from June to November. Bring sunscreen and mosquito repellent. If you'll need sunscreen or mosquito repellent, bring it from home. While you can find both in Mexico, the options are limited and expensive. Use your ATM card. Though it's good practice to bring some cash in case of an emergency, there's no need to bring cash to exchange. Use Mexican ATMs instead. They're ubiquitous in all but the smallest of towns and are the most economical way to get pesos. But beware of ATM transaction fees. If they're more than 5 or 6 per withdrawal, use a different bank's machine. Also, if the ATM prompts you to accept a special exchange rate, decline it. You'll still be able to withdraw money, but the bank will apply the official exchange rate, which is always to your advantage. Leave your bling at home. Avoid bringing flashy watches and jewelry to Mexico. If you wear them, you'll risk standing out and becoming a target for pickpockets and scammers. Likewise, resist renting a luxury car, which is more likely to be broken into or stopped by officials. Embrace long-distance bus travel. Unless you need a car, take long-distance buses to explore Mexico. Countless bus companies crisscross the country, providing reliable and efficient transport. Always opt for first-class service, which is only slightly more expensive than second class, but much faster and vastly more comfortable with cushy reclining seats, individual screens, Wi-Fi, and even snacks. Say hello, even to passerbyers. Mexicans deeply value pleasantries. It's a sign of respect. Saying good morning or good afternoon when entering a room or a business is typical. When leaving, a quick excuse me is considered polite. When meeting a person for the first time, a handshake with a great pleasure is the go-to. If you know the person, a kiss on the cheek or a hug is expected. Tip almost everyone. Tipping is an important source of income for most workers in Mexico, from the kid who watches your parked car to the concierge who provides specialized services. In general, tips are 15% to 20% for waiters and tour guides, and anyone who provides some type of service on your journey. Taxi drivers don't expect tips but certainly welcome them. Be a respectful photographer. No one likes a stranger suddenly aiming a camera at their face and taking a photo. The same goes for Mexicans, including and especially indigenous Mexicans, who are too often targeted because of their traditional clothing. Instead of snapping a photo, approach the person and ask permission first. In marketplaces or for street vendors, buy something and then ask. It tends to grease the wheels. Bargain with kindness. Haggling is a part of shopping in Mexico, especially in markets and at street-side stands. Often, prices are slightly inflated with that expectation. But be mindful of how hard you bargain. Those extra few pesos likely mean a lot more to the vendor than to you. Carry small bills and coins. While credit cards are becoming increasingly common, Mexico remains a predominantly cash economy. Be sure to carry pesos in your pocket. The smaller the denomination, the better. Despite the use of cash, change is often scarce. You'll either be left waiting for the vendor to break a bill or, worse, be turned away. Avoid places where things can go wrong fast. With so much news about cartel violence in Mexico, safety is a common concern. Generally, violent crime is cartel on cartel, tourists aren't targets. It's always possible, though, to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. To play it safe, steer clear of drugs and avoid fringe neighborhoods. If you're traveling in cartel hotbeds, say, Sonora or Michoacan, turn in early, travel by day, and take toll roads. Be alert to petty theft. When tourists experience crime in Mexico, it's typically petty theft. Like most places around the world, it's just a fact of life. Be aware of your surroundings, especially in crowded places like markets or city buses where pickpockets tend to strike. Eat street food. Eating street food, sizzling tacos, grilled corn in a cup, sweet and crunchy crepes or churros, is one of those Mexican must-dos. Seek out stands with a crowd, they're a sure test for safe-to-eat-at spots. But be sure to take a hard pass on the extras like mayo and cream. They often sit in the sun for hours, unrefrigerated, and creating a perfect bacteria breeding ground. Remember your embassy. If you're a victim of crime or need medical assistance or legal help, contact your embassy or consulate. Almost 90 countries, including the US and Canada, have representatives in Mexico to help you navigate problems abroad. So, there you have it. With these 15 super useful tips, you're well on your way to planning an incredible and hassle-free Mexican adventure.